This year isn't about a trophy. This year isn't about a placing. This year is about proving to people that what they saw in 2022 was only a fraction of what I can be. 2024 is about the year of redemption. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. It is Monday, May 20th, and we are exactly 12 days out from the first show of the season. So in today's video, I thought I would take you guys through what my meals are looking like at 12 days out. As you can expect, being this close to the show, number one, the meals are relatively small. We're not eating a ton of calories right now. And number two, the meals are going to be relatively boring, so I do apologize for that. We are at the point now where most of the quote-unquote fun stuff has been taken out, so not really any artificial sweeteners at this point, which means not a lot of condiments, mainly just kind of like seasoning, salt, pepper, things like that. So the food does look a little bland, but that is just to make sure that we are bringing in those finer details, making sure that I am not holding any water, any inflammation, anything like that, just kind of eliminating any variables, any unknown variables that there may be leading into the first show. It's something that does kind of suck a little bit, not being able to utilize some things such as like low calorie condiments and stuff like that, but at this point it is kind of a necessary evil to make sure that we are bringing in the best package possible. Meal number one here is going to consist of an omelet, which is 400 grams of egg whites. As well, I have 2 whole eggs here and then 4 plain rice cakes, and then finishing things off, I have 200 grams of apple here. This is going to be my pre-workout meal, so I'm going to go ahead and eat this and then head to the gym in a little bit here to go do my second last quad session leading into the first show. So that's very, very exciting. So I might touch on a little bit of training in today's video, or maybe in future videos as well, leading into the show and how I kind of manipulate that a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead, dive into this because I'm absolutely starving. So I will go ahead, eat this, and then catch you guys in a bit. Pre-workout right now is pretty much the only thing getting me through these workouts, because the carbs definitely are not. But this is pretty much the only artificial sweeteners that I'm having throughout the day is my pre-workout currently, and even that is going to get cut out this upcoming Saturday at 7 days out. Like I talked about, the reason I've gone ahead and decided to cut out all artificial sweeteners and whatnot is just simply for the fact of it's an unknown variable at this point. Yeah, sure, it might not have any effect, it might not make me look any worse, but if there's a chance that it could make me worse, I'd rather just go ahead and pull that out and just kind of suck it up for the next 2 weeks and just go ahead and not have those unknown variables in there. Other thing is going to be as well, the reason I went ahead and kind of like pulled condiments and different things like this is I actually don't track my condiments throughout my prep, and I'm not worried about them from a calorie standpoint because obviously I was still losing weight. What I'm more concerned about is actually going to be like the sodium content of them. Things such as like hot sauce and ketchup and whatnot are going to have a relatively high sodium content, and I want to know exactly how much sodium I'm intaking so that I can go ahead and manage those variables and manipulate those variables the closer that I get to the show, so that I can manipulate my water and I can manipulate my salt intake if I need to as well. If I don't know exactly how much salt I'm taking in because I'm not tracking my condiments, it's going to make it a lot harder to do that. So just went ahead and kind of removed all of those things going into this last 2 weeks of the prep leading into the first show. Like I said, still got some artificial sweetener from the pre-workout, but that's pretty much it, and even that is going to be removed on Saturday and swapped out for just probably like black coffee or something to keep things nice and simple. But gonna go ahead, sip on this pre-workout here for a minute, and then go finish the second last quad day leading into the first show. This is going to be like my last all-out quad session, and then I will actually do my very last quad session this upcoming Saturday to give me enough time, do that a week out from the show so that there's not any inflammation being held in the legs, because that is what we want to do right now, is we want to make sure that we are mitigating inflammation, that we are trying to slowly remove that inflammation. So cardio actually took a little bit of a reduction today. Step count took a little bit of a reduction today, and that will continue as the week progresses. Cardio will slowly come down to go ahead and start to remove some of that fluid in the legs, to go ahead and start to remove some of that inflammation. So it's just about the final touches now going into this last kind of 2 weeks leading into the show. The work has been done, the weight has been peeled off. Woke up at a new low this morning of 174.4, so that was the lowest weigh-in of prep so far. So we're there. It's just all about landing the plane now. So nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and drink this, and then we're gonna get in there and smash this last quad session. So let's get it.
Fire in my soul, got my eyes on the ground. I can't help myself lately, can't turn myself down. I'm in love with you, baby, but I let you down. I can't die in this town, I won't die in this town. Yeah. Hey, don't die in this town. Yeah, get 'em up. I won't die in this town. Hold up, homie, let's wait a minute. Lately, y'all don't even pay no visits. I can still hear the hater critics saying he ain't gonna make it, is he? Lately, I developed laser vision. Yeah, I burn through people in their cruel intentions.
Alright, that is the second last quad day leading into the first show done and dusted. Numbers held actually pretty good, pretty much been matching numbers for the last couple of weeks, which is very good considering that like Sunday is a rest day for me, so it's a low day. So like yesterday was like 1,750 calories and 130 grams of carbs. Absolutely brutal. So not a lot of fuel going into the leg day on the Monday. So very happy that numbers have been holding. Moving into my last quad workout this upcoming Saturday, that will be a little bit of reduced intensity and reduced volume just to make sure that we are managing fatigue and inflammation the best that we can. But that is done and dusted. So just going to go pop over to the grocery store now to get a couple bits that I need for today. And then we're going to head home and make a post-workout meal. So I will catch you guys at home. Guys, we are back from the workout, so this is going to be meal number 2 and our post-workout meal. Right now, this is definitely going to be my largest meal of the day, just because I want to make sure that I'm putting a good amount of carbs towards my recovery, because obviously carbs are relatively low right now. Carbs are at about 180 grams per day on training days right now. So as you saw, I have a good bit of my carbs for the day pre-workout, and then I have a big bunch of my carbs here post-workout as well. That means that meals 3 and 4 later in the day are going to be relatively low carb, but right now at like 12 days out, my main goal right now is going to be upholding that training performance. So I want to make sure that I'm putting the majority of my carbs for the day around that training window. So that means pre-workout and post-workout is where we are going to put the majority of those carbs. My other meals later in the day can be mainly, protein and a little bit of fat. I really don't mind that too much because my main goal right now is upholding that training performance. So post-workout meal here is going to be 100 grams of cream of rice. This is just plain cream of rice because, like I said, I am cutting out artificial sweeteners for the next 2 weeks. So no more flavor gang, unfortunately, for the next couple of weeks because it does have some sucralose in it, which normally, like I said, I wouldn't be worried about. Like, normally, don't worry, artificial sweeteners isn't one of those things that you need to, freak out about. But with just being, 2 weeks out, it is something that I did want to go ahead and minimize just in case. So 100 grams of plain cream of rice here. I have 45 grams of whey protein isolate in there. I am using HydroPure by Nutribolics because it is a stevia sweetened one, so again, minimizing the artificial sweeteners there. 10 grams of 85% dark chocolate, and then 200 grams of blueberries. So this is going to be absolutely delicious. I absolutely love this meal, so going to go ahead, dive into this, probably get a bit of work done, and then I will catch you guys for meal number 3. Alright guys, just sitting down for meal meal number 3. Like I talked about, most of the carbs right now are being partitioned to pre-workout and post-workout. So meal number 3 is just going to be protein and veg. Meal number 3 is going to consist of 225 grams of cooked chicken breast. And then as well in there, I have 5 grams of coconut oil, just for a little bit of fats. Fats are relatively low right now as well, but still getting a little bit of good healthy fats in there. Then as well, I have some air fried zucchini, some spring mix, and then some cucumbers as well, just to add some volume to the meal basically. As we get closer to the show, probably at about a week out, vegetable intake will start to reduce, just for digestive purposes and for keeping the stomach nice and tight and making sure that we are not bloating ourselves with too many vegetables. But nevertheless, it isn't too much right now, but that's what we got to do at 12 days out to go ahead and put the finishing touches on the physique to make sure that we are bringing the best package possible come next Saturday. So very, very excited for that. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and dive into this and then probably get some steps in, because we still got steps to finish off for the day. Like I said, the step count was reduced a little bit today, but still got a few thousand to go ahead and hit. So I'm probably going to eat this, go for a walk, and then I will catch you guys at meal number 4. Guys, the fourth and final meal for the day is still going to be my Ninja Creamy. I was actually going to go ahead and remove this because, like I said, I did want to go ahead and kind of remove a lot of the artificial sweeteners and just little things like that. So I did actually go ahead and end up changing the recipe. Before I was doing, some Fairlife skim milk, a little bit of sugar-free pudding mix, and some different things like that. This is just nice and simple now. What I have here for the base is 275 grams of egg whites. As well, I went ahead and just filled the rest up with water, and then did 30 grams of the HydroPure protein that I was talking about. So that is what the base is. So it's just plain and simple. It's definitely not as creamy as using the milk, obviously, but it is still pretty good. And then as well, I have 100 grams of strawberries, and then 15 grams of 85% dark chocolate. So as you guys can see throughout the day, definitely not a ton of calories right now, but that is what it's kind of looking like at 12 days out from the first show. So we are kind of digging down and just kind of peeling those last little bits off before we go ahead and fill up for the show, which will be happening most likely next Wednesday, Thursday, which I will go ahead and do a video on as well, kind of covering peak week and what I am doing leading into the show. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, enjoy this, head to bed, and then I will catch you guys in the morning. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for this full day of eating at 12 days out from the first show. I'm sorry that it wasn't super exciting. I'm not one of those guys who can unfortunately eat a whole bunch of calories leading into the show. I do have to push down pretty hard in order to get into a good condition to bring the best physique that I possibly can to the stage. But a few more days of digging here, and then we will get to fill up next week, moving into the show most likely the Wednesday and Thursday, so a couple days out from the show, which I will be filming as well. So definitely keep an eye out on the channel for a peak week vlog or 2 potentially coming, as well as the show day video as well, which I'm very, very excited to do. But if you guys are enjoying the Redemption series, definitely be sure to drop a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. As well, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and while you're down there, make sure that you click the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.